I have a client who made the decision to turn away every patient who was not going through menopause. And 2 months later, she was fully booked and turning away patients, but now for a completely different reason. If your first thought is to tell me why this will never work for you, well, that's exactly what I want to talk about today. Knowing who you want to serve is probably one of the hardest decisions that you'll make in your practice. Unless, of course, you just woke up one morning and you decided, like, I just automatically know I want to help moms with kids. I love that. I did the same thing. And we tend to help the people that are sort of in the stage of life we are, at least women do. You know, when we're young and we're raising kids in potty training, then we're all in the throes of fertility, pregnancy, postpartum, and raising kids in young school age. And so the stage that we're in, we tend to gravitate that way. And so when my kids were young, I did the same thing. I did a lot of work with families and children and moms and helping them eat. And I did all that. But then my kids got into middle school and they got into high school. And now I'm not in diapers and I'm not in, potty. I'm not in all that. And so I definitely could still help. But now I was really more interested in that, perimenopausal type age woman, or that 30-year-old who's still trying to figure her life out with kids and busy, and then you get a little older and you get where I'm going with this. So often who we talk to in our practice changes based on what we're interested in, right? The things that you're naturally interested in. The problem that I see is that most practitioners don't take the time to figure it out. And even more often, they're too afraid to draw a line in the sand. Just like the client, the practitioner that I was just talking about, she just drew a line in the sand. And I said to her, she was just starting her practice, brand new, just starting a wellness practice. Like, she is a nurse practitioner. She decided that she didn't want to be in that industry, in that field anymore. And she wanted to branch out on her own. She had an office. She has it furnished. And I said, what do you want to do? Who do you want to serve? It was the very first conversation that we had. And she kind of didn't know. And we talked about it and flushed it out. Well, who do you not want to serve? Like, that's an important thing. Who is it that you go, no. For me, I do not like dealing with weight loss. I don't know. I just don't like it. But somebody else might love it. It's just not my jam. I also don't like dealing with cancer patients because it hits too close to home for me with my daughter. It makes me sad. I was walking through the airport the other day. There was a little girl, probably about the same age that my daughter was, maybe 10, 11, 12. And she was wearing all pink and she was completely bald. And as I'm walking through the airport, the tears were just welling up in my eyes because it just all comes back. So I am a no for that. My heart can't do it. So sometimes knowing what you don't want to do is as important, if not maybe more important, because it helps you get clarity about the problem that you do want to serve or the people that you do want to help. So back to this client, she says, well, we talk about it. She finally says, well, I think that I really like menopausal women. I said, great. And she's of that age. See what I was saying? You just tend to gravitate to people that you know. I know myself. I'm in menopause. I understand better than I did when I was in my 30s. That's for sure. And so that was the decision that she made. She said, I want to work with menopause. And I said, okay, if that's your person, then that's what you specialize in. And you can charge your fees appropriate to your specialty. And so off she goes. She was happy. She goes, menopause it is. So a few weeks later, I spoke with her and she said, yep, that's all I'm doing, menopause. I told my front desk person, turn away everyone that's not menopause. I said, wait, whoa. She started laughing. She goes, wait, what? You told me menopause? I didn't think she was going to do that, but I was so proud of her for doing it. And she literally said no. If someone called and said, I need help with weight loss, she's like, I'm not your person. We specialize in menopause. That's all we do is menopause. Somebody else calls and they need help with hair loss. Oh, yep. Sorry. That's not heavy bleeding. No, we just do menopause. Male health. Nope. Just do menopause. Blood sugar. Nope. Just do menopause. She literally drew, the hardest line in the sand I have ever seen anybody do quickly. And within 2 months, she's fully booked out. She's hiring more practitioners to help her. She's bringing blood labs into her practice because there's nowhere close to do it. She is getting it done. And she does not have enough time in the day to see all these people. And it's because she drew a line in the sand and she said, this is who I'm for. This is who I want to help. These are the people that I am passionate about and I'm really good at. Now, from a business perspective, because that's what I do. I help clinicians with the clinical side. I can help you with that, but I love helping with the business side. From a business perspective, just imagine this with me if you would. If you are listening and you're like, she's wrong, I'm going to help everyone. Okay, fine. You do you, but you look at your bank account and let me know how that's working out for you. But just imagine this with me for a second. Just for a second. Let's just play for a minute. What if you had an email, you were going to write an email, and this email is going to go out to your list of people. And it's about, we'll use menopause, for example, because this is what I'm talking about. And it's about menopause. And you've decided that you are going to talk about hot flashes and the three top herbs for helping with hot flashes, or the role of blood sugar in hot flashes, right? I just recently taught a menopause seminar, so it's top of mind. So this is what she's going to write this email about. Now, on her list, though, she's been talking to, she has a list full of people that are raising kids. There's some men on there. There's a few teenagers on there. There's some women have kids out of school. They're like in high school. And she's right. They're not in menopause, but they're not in childbirth. So that email that she writes is going to not land correctly with all of those people. So what happens to me if I get an email in my inbox, or let's say you get an email in your inbox and it's talking about toe fungus. I don't know where that came out of my brain, but it just popped in. And it's talking about toe fungus, and you're like from XYZ company, and you think, I don't need this. I don't have toe fungus. No one else I know has toe fungus. And besides, I know how to fix it if I did. So nope. What are you going to do? You're going to unsubscribe. And I would too. If I got an email about toe fungus, I'm like, I don't have that. Don't need it. Don't care. Unsubscribe. When the information that comes to you, whether it's on social media or email, when it comes to you and it's not relevant for what your needs are, you're going to unsubscribe. We all do it because I'm not any longer interested. So now for this practitioner, she's building a list of menopausal women. And so when she sends out an email that talks about blood sugar and hot flashes, or it's talking about, hydration or she's talking about vaginal dryness, whatever it is. And that's what she's talking about. What percentage of her audience on her email list is going to be like, want to lean in and learn more? 100%. She has an audience that's built for her message. Versus if, let's put it on the other foot. Let's say that she wants to, she can't decide what she wants to specialize in. So she's been in practice for, 8 years and just has a hodgepodge of people come in for hormones and, skin issues, constipation or bloating, allergies, whatever it is, a whole bunch of different interests, different problems. And she decides today, I am going to specialize in menopause. So I'm going to send an email out to my whole list and tell them about menopause and hot flashes. What's going to happen? All those people are going to unsubscribe. Now, if she's serious about being specializing in menopause, fine. Let them unsubscribe. It's fine because they're not your people. But my point is, when the message is clear and you've created an environment, a list of emails, people on your social media page that want what you have, they're interested in what you're talking about, they won't unsubscribe. They're not going to go anywhere. They'll be like leaning in like, woo, what's she going to say today? What's she going to talk about today? I'm really fascinated by this. I want to learn more. Or I'm going to share the email with someone. I'm going to share the post with someone. That's what we want to do, is create that kind of interest in the specialty that we're creating, but you have to create that audience. So if you are listening and you're like, well, that won't work for me because I just want to serve everyone and I don't want to isolate anyone. I don't want to turn anyone away. How'd that work out for my client? 2 months and the word got out. And every perimenopause, menopause, postmenopausal woman that she talked to, guess how many postmenopausal women that lady has who has hot flashes? And now they're telling all their friends to come see the menopause specialist. And that's how she got booked out. So what can you specialize in? And on that note, who's going to be able to charge more for their services? A specialist or a generalist? The specialist, of course, is going to charge more, and they get more because they specialize in something. They specialize in something really specific. And that's what I want you to do. Decide who you're for. Decide what your niche is. Decide that person or that condition. Maybe it's women in perimenopause. I have lots of doctors in Clinical Business Academy, and that's what they specialize in. And each one of them has a little bit of a different twist on it. It's fine. Everybody has their own flavor of salt in the soup, right? What's salty to one person, one approach is going to be right for someone. It's going to be wrong for someone else. So it's okay. You can add whatever your salt is, your flavoring. You can make it taste and feel, and you can make the experience whatever you want. But you have to have a message that's going to land. And if it doesn't land, then people are just going to let it go in one ear and right out the other. And you won't be remarkable. You won't be someone that they want to talk about or share or give their money to or work with. Because if you can't solve my problem, then why am I talking to you? It would be like me. I'm right in the middle right now. I'm actually car shopping. I need to buy a car. And I think I know what I'm looking for. I'm pretty sure I have a good idea. But then my sweet husband says, well, have you thought about this one? And I go, another trip to the car dealership. So I have to figure out what I want, and then I can go shop for the car, right? I have to discern what I want. If I know what I want, I know what my problem is. I need an X car. This is the car I'm looking for. Why would I go to someone, the guy who has a car lot over here on this side, and he's got a little repair shop over here, and then he has a little Dorito taco, something fast food truck over in the other side of the parking lot? No. If I'm looking for a Toyota, where am I going to go? I'm going to go to the Toyota dealership. Or I'm going to go to a place that has a lot of Toyota. They know about Toyotas or whatever it is. Same thing. You have to know who you want to serve. And then you can start doing that, but you start to say no. Say no to the people. I know that's hard. I know. Don't hang up on me. If we were talking or in a coffee shop, don't walk out now. I know that feels hard, but I'm telling you, the abundance and your satisfaction with what you do is so much better. You don't have to know everything about everything. When you are a generalist, you have to know all the things. You have to know how to do Hashimoto's. You have to know all the things about the gut. You have to know all the things about neuroinflammation. You have to know all the things about hemorrhoids and about portal veins and about liver detoxification. You have to know all the things about HRT. You have to know all the things about all the things. When you specialize in something, you're just really good at one thing. And that's what makes you really good at that one thing, because you now are a specialist at that one thing. So I would love to know in the comments, tell me, what is your specialty? I want to know where you're from. Like, just tell me city, state, and your specialty. If you don't know, say, I don't know, but I'm thinking blank, and I will get back to you. I promise you, I will get back to you, because I love the comments. Or you can email me. You can do that too. But I want to know, and I want to help you. The faster you can get to draw your line in the sand and say, this is what I want to do, the faster your bank account reflects it, the faster you're more satisfied with what you do with your job, the less time it takes you, because now you're efficient, because every patient is in menopause, you're either in peri, meno, or post. That's it. That's all we have to choose from. And each one of them has a little different framework. If you were at the seminar, you know this. Each one of them has a little different kind of a flow, I'll call it, right? A strategy for how to help them. But That's okay, because now you've got it all mapped out. You're expert at it, and now you know it. You can build everything in your business around supporting that person. And let's just say that you are right now supporting moms and families. In 5 years, when your kids are in middle school or high school, you can change it. It's totally fine. You can change it. It's not a problem, because really all those patients are all growing with you, remember? So if you're focusing on families, their kids aren't, staying stagnant. They're growing too, just like yours are. And so your practice, your patient base, they kind of evolve with you. So it's not like you have to close the door and say, "Well, I'm changing now. I'm going to go do perimenopause." And so all you remember, their kids growing too. So those moms need just as much help. So I really would encourage you, give this some solid thought, because it is possible when you draw a line in the sand and you say, this is who I'm for, this is who I'm going to serve, and all of your marketing is centered around that. Now we're getting somewhere. Now you can start to say, I'm so sorry. We don't work with that. We only work with this, but let me make a referral to someone else. Now you look like a hero, and that person's like, oh, good to know they're a specialist in. I'm telling you, it works every time. So I hope this is helpful for you. Again, leave me a comment. I'd love to know, where are you in the country or in the world? Where are you? And what's your specialty? I want to know. Just leave it in the comment below. And while you're there, click the little subscribe button. It would be super great if you would. And then turn on those notifications. All right, friends, I'll see you back next week.